Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael.
My name's Kleve.
And welcome back to another exciting episode of Friendship
Supreme.
We're the podcast that dares to ask, you ever had a story in your mind, but you couldn't fledge it out?
That's all I have because I'm an ideas man. I cannot bring things to life. This podcast would not exist without Michael because he brought everything to life. I just had ideas. So
if the podcast was our baby, I'm the woman and you're the man. I get it.
Yeah, I just planted that seed.
I birthed it,
and I'm on my way.
And
then I'm like,
God damn it.
And then I'm like, let me know if you need any money.
I whisper some words in the ear, and then we just kind of go on with the idea. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's foreplay. I get it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm like, just let me know how much you need, okay? You don't have to contact me for every little thing.
That's not what this episode's about.
Can this episode be about that? Okay, so I had an idea for a comic, and I've had this idea for a while, and I'm gonna have you help me kind of flesh it out a bit more.
I'm really excited because I've recently, and I haven't, because I had no idea what this episode was about. I recently, like the last 2 weeks, I don't know if you saw the TikTok I sent you from Ace Blade. It's a comic book, a guy doing a comic book, and then he has basically said, "I'll help anybody get all this shit out and help you get the resources and stuff." And I've really been wanting to create a comic book.
Okay, good. Are you
specifically
good at writing scripts?
Yeah, I think so, actually.
Okay, then that's fine. Okay, so my idea might come with like, I don't know if you heard that or not.
What was that?
Looks like you did. My idea might come with, how do you say,
a lot of work,
legal fees or legal problems.
Okay, but hear me out. You remember when we did that story about Commando Duck and Howard the Duck?
Very true. Okay, so I'll tell you why, and then you tell me what you think. So I've always had an idea for a comic, Western cowboyish themed.
Okay.
Where it takes place in Texas, and all the characters are names of Texas sports teams. So, like, you have a character named Cowboy, you have a character named Maverick, you have a character named...
I think as long as there's no resemblance between them and the team. So, like, color scheme would have to be different. They couldn't, like, your Maverick couldn't, happen to be on a horse. Like, so you'd have to find different kind of...
You have to walk. Sorry, bud. You got to walk.
He's on a stagecoach. The Texans, he'd have to be called Tex. Because you couldn't call him Texan. Well, you could, and just say he goes by Tex for short.
So I figured all the names, one, you drop the S, right? Because they're plural. Everything's plural. So, and like Dallas Cowboys, yes, obviously, name. But you can't just own Cowboy.
No.
But right?
You can't
just own Maverick.
No. That's what I'm saying. If it's a name, you're good. I think as long as you're not naming your main character PepsiCo, I think you're solid. Right.
Okay, so I've written down, obviously, some of the characters, right? Because I don't know how many. And you're a pretty big sports guy, so I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of the teams. But there are people who are listening who might not live in Texas and might not know. So, basketball, I have Dallas Mavericks, San Antonio Spurs, Houston Rockets, and the Dallas Wings, which is
the WNBA.
Yeah. Baseball, I have Houston Astros and Texas Rangers, which would just be Ranger, right?
If you want, there could be like an old timey like 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 the guy they look up to, or they have flashbacks to think about someone that helped them, and then he could be the expo.
See,
Oh no, I'm not on Expo. What was it? The Oiler?
see. Okay, you talking about Houston Oilers?
Yeah, but there was also a.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going while you're
Yeah.
doing that. So soccer, women's soccer is the Houston Dash, men's soccer is the Houston Dynamo, and then there's the Austin FC. I couldn't figure out what to do with FC.
So
I
you
thought
could name them Austin because Dallas also has an FC, and you could just name them Dallas.
I thought about like maybe fleshing out the like Austin Frederick Chavez, like like a whole name, and his just initials would work out to that.
Yeah.
Football is the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans. There's the Houston Oilers. That's the NFL. The XFL had the Houston Roughnecks and the Dallas Renegades. And then the USFL has the Houston Gamblers, which someone recently brought to my attention that there is no gambling in Texas. So that is a funny name.
It sure isn't. Where is it at? Where are they at?
Houston.
It's not even like close to a Louisiana gambling team.
And I don't believe there's a Texas team for the USFL. No, there's not.
Oh, the USFL.
I thought, well, obviously, I mean, do you guys need an official podcast? Because I can get this going for you if you need me to. I'll change the whole format. And then Dallas Stars, obviously. You need the big ones, right? The ones that have won championships, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can add in smaller leagues, like his side minor characters.
Collegiate teams.
Yeah. Or like any semi-pro team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Dallas has a women's football team.
Well, there's AAA baseball and AA baseball. You have Rough Riders and what's the Whataburger team? The team that's sponsored by Whataburger. I can't remember. Know there was sponsored by Whataburger. So Round Rock Rough Riders and something else, but yeah.
So I thought it would be funny if Austin was the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Because capital, right? Makes sense. And I think it would be funny that like if he was respected elsewhere, but like not in the land of Texas.
Because he's too different.
Because it's soccer and nobody here really cares about soccer at all. So like he made a name for himself, but just nobody here respected it.
Well, and also Austin is looked at that way too. Austin's very left leaning, and the rest of the Texas is not so much.
Yeah, let's not get into that. I also with the little bit I've given you, I have more ideas. But what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Does there anything that immediately comes out to you about it?
Yeah, no, I love it. I think that like you have like you break them into factions, right? So like you have your lawmen and your robbers and your average people, your town folk, and you break them out, So I think like your baseball teams, your Astro and your Ranger, those are like your Texas Rangers, like they're the lawmen. They are trying to get some kind of they're trying to capture somebody. Probably if you think Austin, if you want Austin involved, then I think that would have to be probably a main character that kind of gets tied up into it. Like he never wanted to be on any, he didn't want to be involved, right? He didn't want to be a bank robber. He wanted to just live his normal peaceful life with him and his family, and then he kind of got roped into it, and somehow now like his kid got kidnapped by the bank robbers, and now he's suddenly got to help the two lawmen help find him. Did I describe a movie that already exists?
Yeah. Are you
Taken?
No, I was thinking. God, I've already forgotten the name of it. It was so good. The cowboy Netflix movie.
Oh, Cowboys and Aliens.
No, thank you though. The good one.
The harder they fall.
Yeah.
No, I mean, so maybe, but not 100%. I think that. Yeah, I'm liking this.
See, I think that the sports and the rivalries kind of already writes its own story for you too.
Yeah.
Like so funny little inside, and it'll be little inside jokes that maybe people from sports will know that, like, casual readers might not really get, but it'll still follow the story. Like, I imagine that there's a man that we refer to as Euler who gets shot, disappears for 3 years, and everybody presumes he's dead. And then a new guy comes up named Texan. And it's the same guy, Michael.
Yeah, I like it.
Because the Houston Oilers and the Houston Texans are the same team.
Yeah. No, I like it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then, like I said, I'm on board with the idea that the Ranger and the Astro are lawmen and they hate each other.
So maybe one's a lawman, maybe one's not. Maybe they're brothers.
Oh, maybe one's a marshal and one's like a local deputy. It's a jurisdiction issue here.
I'm liking where it's going so far. I also think it'd be funny if, like, the XFL teams, like the Houston Renegades and the Dallas Renegades and the Houston Roughnecks, if like if we write the story now, like, no one's seen them for years. And then when The Rock finally gets his shit together, maybe the characters like pop back up into the comic and you finally are introduced to them because, the XFL's failed. And coming back, you got the new kid in town, the gambler. Man, I feel like I really have to hone in on the story itself, but I also feel like it also kind of writes itself all at the same time.
There's definitely a story here, and I really like it. I want to know, and it's hard to come up with this first, but I do we have a running title?
Texas Law.
Okay.
That was the first thing that came out of my head when you asked that question.
Okay.
I'm open to conversation because you can't harp too much on, like, having it sports related, because then I get in trouble, right? Because it's not supposed to be affiliated with the team. Although I guess this episode puts that all out there.
Can it be Remember the Spur? No.
Do we not have the Spur anymore?
I just really like to Remember the Alamo. Something like that. Oh, wait. What about? Oh, yo, can we just? Yes, this is the name of it.
Okay.
It's Come and Take It.
Okay.
We take the Texas flag, right? The cannonball, Come and Take It. The Alamo, and and we just and like I think it's the badass name, Come and Take It. Yeah, right.
That's fair. So Austin doesn't want to be involved in this, but something brings him in. Maybe someone's missing. Is he looking for Euler?
Maybe him and Euler used to be old mates, like old friends.
Sports wise, Austin really doesn't have any connection with anybody.
No.
So I think
you kind of want someone that doesn't necessarily have a connection to everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe you want, like, the outsider.
Maybe he's just trying to get his name known. Like, he's trying to get the respect on his name that he knows is deserved, according to the rest of the world. But this stupid land of Texas doesn't understand that soccer is a huge deal.
Are you including FC Dallas then in that?
I feel like Dallas has enough representation to not.
They do have a lot of representation. I just wasn't sure if you wanted to.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. If we included the XFL, 5 teams.
All right, hold on. I should have done this when you originally said it, but let me write down all the things you have. Should have done WordPad, not Notepad. You fool! Oh, whatever. It's already here. Okay, so we got.
You want by sport
first,
or
Astro?
I have it broken down on mine by sport. I have it written down.
Sport works best for me.
Dallas Mavericks. I don't know how long you need to the next one. San Antonio Spurs, Houston Rockets, Dallas Wings. Baseball, you know the two teams.
Yep.
So skip that.
It's
Cowboy, Texans, Oilers.
Okay, and then Austin, Dallas. You have Star. And is there another hockey team here?
I couldn't find anything.
I don't think so. I think it's just
also for football, I have Roughnecks, Renegades, and Gamblers. And soccer, I have Dash and Dynamo. Well, honestly, we can skip Dynamo. Sorry, any Houston Dynamo fans out there?
What were the other football ones? Or the soccer ones? Sorry.
Dash and Dynamo. And then Austin FC. Which I felt dumb because I was like, what does FC stand for? And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I'm dumb.
We don't really like soccer that much.
That's my point. That's why he needs to be the main character.
He does. I like it. I like the main character.
My initial vision was that they are just regular people. But should they have, like, not necessarily abilities, but maybe gimmicks?
If it's a Western, no. If it's a sci-fi Western, perhaps let's talk.
Okay.
If it's like Firefly, like it's a Western vibe, but they're definitely in space or have some kind of weird shit going on, then maybe.
Okay, I would say no then, because I'm like, what do you do with Spur? I guess, they could be.
Unless you want to be similar to
what do I do with the rocket?
Like a steampunk kind of thing, maybe. Like if Spur, like maybe.
So that was another thing too. I'm like, do I set this in the Wild West time? Or do I set this in like an apocalyptic Wild West era?
Dystopian, future.
Kind of like Into the Badlands.
Or Wild Wild West.
Or Wild Wild West. You slap a man, would you make that movie? Ridiculous. There's the real joke, Chris Rock.
Great. So many jokes could have been made about that. Yeah, so I think you have you split them into different
I imagine if you look at the city of Dallas, it's broken up into
That's fair to break it up into cities and stuff.
Well, zones, not area codes, not zip codes, but if Batman's villains were going to take over Gotham, they would split it up into different territories. That's one thing, territories.
Mm-hmm.
If they're good guys or bad guys, right? And that would make sense of why Ranger would be like a marshal, because Texas Ranger, he's in a city, but he doesn't really have a city. You know what I mean?
Which is always so weird to me, by the way.
Me too.
It's one of my least favorite things about their team name.
Yeah, never made sense to me. And then you have the Texas Rangers, and then you have the Houston. Another sports fan, maybe Houston, maybe Astros a bit of a cheat.
Yeah, definitely. This is 100% a thing.
You know what I mean? And here's why I feel like maybe I should get by on this, is because I feel like Law and Order just watches the news and then writes an episode.
Yeah. Dick Wolf? Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's doing. I don't remember. Where's Wing located? The Wings?
Dallas.
Jesus Christ.
That's the WMB. That's what I'm saying.
Get another fucking city, guys.
I looked at a map of professional sports teams in Texas. Dallas, Houston, Austin. That's it.
Where's Dash and Dynamo?
Houston, both.
Both are in Houston.
Yeah. Is that not wild though? Like, there's El Paso. There's.
Well, no, they're never gonna put anything in El Paso.
Fucking put something in Padre Island. I don't know.
Okay. There's a lot of real estate in Texas. Okay, I got Spur, Demo, Star, Roughnecks, Renegades, and Gamblers. The cities.
Roughnecks and Gamblers is Houston. Dallas. Renegades is Dallas.
Who's this?
I'm telling you.
Oh.
Yeah, look, San Antonio's got one.
Yep.
You could do something in Corpus Christi, Plano, Galveston, McAllen.
You say Gamblers is in Dallas?
Gamblers is also Houston.
Roughnecks is Dallas.
Yeah. Roughnecks is also Houston.
Renegades is Dallas.
Yes.
One of them was, and I guessed the wrong one 3 times. 2 times. Yeah. Houston has 17.
But I
Dallas
guess
has 6. And
I guess to be fair, the teams I looked it up. The most popular cities: number 1, Houston; number 2, San Antonio; number 3, Dallas; number 4, Austin; number 5, Fort Worth; number 6, El Paso. So if El Paso is number 6, I mean, Waco's not getting anything. You know what I mean?
They got Baylor. What more do they need?
That's true. And then that comes when you end up actually like bringing up these other side characters. I'll bring them up, but they're not main characters. I have a strong. We'll pick maybe one sport per team, or one sport.
You're wanting to write a full story within 16 pages, presumably, or you're wanting to do a full.
I mean, it could be a continuation for all I care.
Well, right, but you want to sell the first copy. Like, let's look at this like we were really wanting to do this. The 1st copy would have to be good enough to make people want to come get more.
Right.
So you have to tell a decent enough story in 16 pages. Okay, so Austin's your main character.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give yourself like 2 characters out of each city. And I guess Spur just lucks into it because they're by themselves in the city. And I would say that those are like your core characters. And then the rest are either have side stories going on somewhere else, or are just secondary characters that come in when needed.
I would be okay with like the A story, B story, if that makes sense. Yeah. Also, maybe do we do like Western murder mystery-ish type of like a detective noir feel to it?
Austin feels like a very Robin Hood-esque character. Like, it could go a very Robin Hood-esque character. Like, not a good guy, because he does some bad things, but a good guy.
Does Ranger have Austin go to work with Astro?
I think it'd be best if Austin's just not necessarily... Like, I do like the idea of him not wanting to be involved. Or even better, throw it up on top of its head and then Austin be a girl. Like, you don't know. Austin has a bandana on and talks, and it's just kind of doesn't really talk.
I mean, would it be a reveal of the woman at the end? I'm more than okay with like a very stern, silent character. Is Austin a bounty hunter?
I can see that.
Because I don't really give a fuck what you do. Really. I'm trying to think when we were playing Red Dead Online, like the things that we were doing, right? Is Austin a moonshiner? Is Austin a bounty hunter?
The Moonshiners, any XFL or USFL team, they're the Moonshiners. They're 100% backcountry moonshining, gator hunting, overall wearing.
I also, in my head, I imagine that Dallas is split up into different territories for the teams that are there. But Houston has like I imagine the Astros that are in charge. They have this like big, like kind of control over the whole city. Real Kingpin-esque feel, especially because, I mean, between the Rockets and the Texans, like,
I think you're better off almost as a geographical standpoint, not acknowledging geographical locations of Texas, like making them more fictional cities.
okay.
If you're trying to separate yourself, like if you're for your lawsuit purposes, right? If we want to be as far away from lawsuits as possible, I think you try to create your own cities that can be very based off of Texas cities for Westerns.
I was gonna say, do we just change the name like H-Town, Big D, instead of
that's fine.
Dallas?
That's fine.
Because here's the thing. For some reason, I know you're gonna hang on.
No, I actually wasn't trying to just hang
I'm just joking. But no, the reason I say so is because I've been watching, and you started watching Abbott Elementary, right? It's a pretty good show. What helps it become as strong as it is that it really digs its roots into the city of Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Sure. And so if you look at the size of Texas and how many people would be interested in stories about Texas, like it could get big in other places. Thank you. But like people, you've seen it. I've seen it. Texans love to support Texas in any way they can.
Texas is all about that pride.
Until issue 5, when I show that Austin is actually a woman.
And then they all lose their goddamn minds.
Maybe Austin's the last name.
It didn't even, I mean, doesn't even have to be. Like, it could just be her first name.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my mindset on it too. Like, how cool would it be? Well, I guess for the 4 cities, but
well, and you develop as far as sports go, like it's basically South Texas likes the Astros and North Texas likes the Rangers, or South Texas likes the Texans and North Texas likes the Cowboys. So like you tend to, whether you live in that area or not, you love a Texas team.
Yeah, we could go visit. Well, I mean, are they gonna like me calling the Astros a big ass fucking crooked ass kingpin?
It'll be small. It'll be a small thing. It'll be like it'll be small little things that they do.
Because just in the city of Houston, I think that Euler was a good guy. Got shot by Astro in the city. Euler disappears and has to come back as Texan, and is trying to take control of the city back over.
Okay, maybe what it is Tex gets shot, or Euler gets shot, right? Euler is an old friend of Austin's, or just an acquaintance of, somehow has something on Austin that Austin then has to help find who shot him or who put the hit out on him. And so then Austin and Tex, quote unquote, Tex are now working together. They hate each other, so that brings fun dialogue back and forth between the two. And they've got a couple of characters that they have to then work with. I really think that if you stick with having like 5 or 6 staple characters, and then the rest be, like I said, plug in here, plug in there, or just like these random stories that we every once in a while come back to.
So everything that I'm telling you, I'm not imagining it's all going on at the same time.
Right.
I imagine it's like as I'm, riding on the horse going from town to town.
I think the first 16 pages, the first issue, right, is we're introduced to the first page. Okay, first page opens just a figure standing in or sitting in an office, like in a room with their feet on the table, spurs, bandana over their face. It's got to be, I don't know, we'll find out whatever Austin colors. Oh no, we need to stay away from that. Bandana of some color. And here's
how you fix this. You just make the story black and white.
That's fair. You can do something like that. Ooh, do like a Frank Miller where it's like black and white, but like when blood or something like that happens, something super important, maybe the color pops.
Or when someone puts mustard on their hot dog, yeah. That's the only example I can think of when yellow came up. The sun, I guess, would have been another good example.
Okay, so first page is Austin, who we don't know is Austin at the time, sitting in a chair, feet on the table, door open, pouring rain outside, and you just see a figure standing there, and you can't see their face, but you just see them standing, and there's one like little bubble that just says some fantastic line. It'll be like, I thought you were dead, but like something good, like a good one-liner for you should be dead. Like the devil couldn't keep you. Question mark.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it goes next page, right? Because that's your first page. Next page we have 3 years ago, and then we go into just a story about Euler, and we tell the Euler story of him getting shot, and that's the first issue. Yeah.
Would it make sense, because we're using the sports names and whatnot, to use one of the Houston soccer teams? They could have been working with Euler, but they've both been there. And then Dynamo or Dash gets shot and killed. Euler also gets shot and disappears. But the other soccer team being dead is what would call
why Austin want to be involved.
Little brother, maybe.
Okay.
Lover.
Dash could be Dash could be like a little brother or a little sister or a little something. I'm on board. But I think that's the first 15 page. That's how you get someone drawn into the story. You get someone drawn in by showing the mysterious character who's going to eventually be our main character, and it's like this one tagline of like I said, like the devil couldn't keep you. I guess the devil couldn't keep you. I like that a little bit, but. And then
I super enjoyed that start. I almost think the next page goes to 3 weeks later, 3 years later, however far back we want to go, and then straight into Dash and Euler, leading up to being killed, and then maybe
exactly. 100%. Like within that next, like I said, 16 pages. So you ain't got much time. Within that amount of time, we have to go straight into flashing to Euler and Dash, because I really like the name Dash. Euler and Dash. Fine. In some kind of scheme or whatever they're in.
Can we kill Dynamo? Because I really don't like the name Dynamo. And then
that's fair. Okay, that's fair. we can use Dynamo. That's fine. We'll call her. Maybe it'll be Dinah. Dinah Montana. Dynamo.
Gotcha.
Okay, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
We go right into them. They're getting into some kind of hijinks. Maybe like they were running moonshine, but they were taking a couple bottles off the back end.
Skip them from the top. You can't do that to Astro.
You can't do that. We're not going to reveal right now here on this podcast who the villain is, but said villain finds out and sends two of his goons to take care of business.
You know what I like the most about it, and involving the sports world also, is that it's the equivalent of like when you and I watch Titans and then Jason Todd Robin goes to go take on the Joker. Like, we know what's going to happen, right? So when the readers that are sports fans read Texan and they're like, oh, this mysterious guy we don't really know about him, it's like, okay, well, obviously that's Euler. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll put that together on their own.
Yeah, because I think we could do this, and I'd be really curious to see his like I said, I've seen a couple on TikTok, Ace Blade. I'm telling you, I really enjoy this guy's work too. He always talking about, like, if you need help, if you're serious, I'm gonna show you the resources and where you got to go. And then we also, we know people that know how to draw. That exist that might be able to. No, I don't just mean the one, but we do know people that draw.
He's not listening anyway.
We know people that can draw and maybe get some rough drafts of just what the characters would look like. Because you and I can't fucking do any of that. So,
well, you know what? If we really hammered out a script, I could draw what I kind of see happening for each scene, and then I just need someone obviously to just make it look
to
better
do the real thing, right?
Yeah.
To take my kindergarten picture. Okay. If you guys are out there, and we know lately we've been getting a lot of feedback and stuff, so we really appreciate it. If you're out there and you have any ideas, because this could eventually branch out to much more. Also,
you could do this for every fucking state.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. We can branch this out a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this could be a whole like big series, and they could just like these characters could start moving to other, like every once in a while you just have a random character travel on down to Missouri, and suddenly you got the Blues, and you got the Rams, and although the Rams aren't there anymore, but the Rams could leave and go to LA, and
the Chiefs.
Yeah, Missouri does not have a lot. That was a bad example, guys. I'm so sorry.
Maybe Cali or New York. New York's a whole fucking. Oh my god! It could be different genres.
Maybe gangsters, like old school gangsters.
Like depending on the state, could it be like different? Like New York's obviously like 50s mob.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, but let us know what you guys think. I think we could come up with something here, guys.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it for sure.
I'm not mad at all. I'm seeing things. I just have to write it out, and then I think I could script it.
It's a different kind of episode too. So hopefully everyone enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah. It's we try new things all the time. If you guys enjoyed this episode, let us know. You guys can always reach out to us on all our social medias. And if you guys give us comments, suggestions, anything like that, we are voted the internet's most receptive and interactive podcast. And
I've seen that on our website.
Yeah. Basically, you guys, if you have a suggestion or you want to hear us talk about something, or you want to get on here and talk about something, let us know. We can make it happen, maybe. You guys can reach out.
I gotta bet you first.
You guys can reach out to us on our social medias. Make sure you also like and comment down below. Hit that notification button. We post episodes every week. Well, more than just one episode every week. Also, we are streaming every week. We are now streaming Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. That is Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Central Time. Mondays and Wednesdays are 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time. And
you really have no excuse not to watch us.
Leave. What other? Where else can they reach us?
We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which are all Friendship Supreme, except Twitter has no eyes in the word friendship. All eyes go to the YouTube channel where we have an episode posting every Saturday. Just another bit of tidbit. Really, we're available all days of the week except for Friday. Give us a day off. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Friendship Supreme. If you would like to support us, maybe we could use that money to get this comic going. Come and get it.
Come and get your love.
I gotta make sure there's no like racial shit.
It doesn't already exist.
Well, no, there's no like, slavery supporting part of that that exists because Texas history is a little.
Oh, they come and get it. Yeah, I mean, I'm we can change it. I just,
Oh no, because I love it too, but it's like.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's 100% fair. There's a lot of racially charged things that happened in the South, guys.
Is that just these idiots that are like, come get my gun?
That is basically what it is. But anyways, guys, I've been Michael.
This is Kleve. Bing, bing, pow, pow.
Bang, bang, bow, bow.